there's a former detective slash P-flag mom and a short gay guy rolling in it.
That one's already working again. That one's had about 6 series since we ended.
I know.
That one doesn't need a job.
She's got something happening with NBC, the whole NBC Universal family right now, because I saw her at the TCA tour with a huge entourage, and I was too intimidated to go up and say hi.
Sharon Gless with a huge entourage? That is no way to talk about her ass.
Can I just say,
She
at the
doesn't.
top
Sharon
of
does
all
not have
this...
an entourage ever. No. Sharon is the least entourage-y person I've ever seen.
Oh, well, it's nice of you to show up, Bobby.
Hey, how you doing? I had to bring my own grapes because I'm starving.
Did you have to go pick them
and
yourself?
This is all I've eaten today.
Are you on the Beverly Hills diet with just this is grape day?
It's Shades of Queer as Folk again. I have a thing after this where I have to take my shirt off. And
So
it's
he's not
like,
gonna eat.
oh my God.
Why don't we rehearse
back
that
again.
right now? Do you need to run lines?
No, yeah, after this today.
What is it?
I'm not going to talk about it because it's embarrassing.
What's going on with you? And I hope you
Well, I
lead
just
with...
booked a film. No, it was funny. I was sitting here and I was like, oh my God, I have to follow Peter, like triple threat Peter doing like selling pilots.
What film?
No, actually, a film that Peter's directing that I auditioned for. Yeah.
I just told her seconds ago.
Yeah, he just told me.
film, he told me.
Yeah.
Good timing.
No, and he's been so sweet through the whole thing. He kept calling me at home saying, "You're fantastic. You're still in the mix." And I was like, "What? Only an actor would do that." It was so sweet. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing that, and I've just been doing.
Well, and can we talk about the humanitarian work? So I'm up in San Francisco for the GLAAD Awards, and who do I see? Flying up to San Francisco to do the GLAAD, and others here, to do the GLAAD Awards. So the philanthropic work you do for the gay community is noticed. And a lot of times people don't take the time to say that, so I wanted to tell you that. All of you, actually, because all of you have done that. I've seen you either in parades, on stage, giving away awards, accepting awards, so... But it's really, really appreciated. So I wanted you to know that.
Thank you.
So,
yeah.
Hal?
Speaking of which, by the
Well,
way.
I'm also. I'll just say,
there's more.
No, but I'm really. I think the reason I got Peter's movie is I play Kira Sedgwick's therapist on The Closer, and that's really fun. And she's great. She's awesome. She's a goddess. Yeah.
Which is on my TiVo, by the way.
Is
And
it?
now, so
It's
is
an
Saving
amazing
Grace.
show. It is so good, and she is extraordinary. She's so good.
And let me ask you a question. You don't have an accent on the show because
No,
she
I'm
does
actually
that
her
accent.
opposite. I'm very New York therapist, down to, just straight shooter kind of thing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So QAF was a great springboard.
Yeah. I mean, in many ways, yeah. In
some ways.
I mean, weirdly, it still feels to me like it was the swimming pool. The QAF was its own pool, and now we got to get back out and climb back on the ladders and get back on and jump. But because it was
underground. It wasn't mainstream, and so I know when I walk into rooms, people are like, "Wow, I haven't seen you in a long time," as if I went someplace and came back, and and we were in Canada for 5 years for the most of.
But
5 years.
I guess all I mean is it was its own event, and in some ways we're still. At least I feel like I'm still shaking the water off in terms professionally. Like it's there's we still have the stink of the show on us. That's not a bad thing. But.
Yeah, socially and politically. Socially and politically, it was very much a step forward, I think, for everybody, and I think we all kind of can feel that. But career-wise, because of the nature of the show, it could be a bit of a cul-de-sac for you while you're on it. You're doing it. You're great. It's home, and it's important to do. Socio-politically, it's important to do that. But it really is its own thing. It's its own environment,
Yeah.
And do you think that you have moved forward for it? Like I'm getting the sense that you're saying you're typecast, is what I'm hearing.
There's some of that.
Can I say something? Because I find what's interesting is that I don't feel as though I feel as though doors opened in a way on a certain level, but I feel like me personally, it's taken me like 2 years to get that character off me. I mean, I'm telling you, I had moments where I would go into an audition, and all of a sudden, if I didn't know exactly what I was playing or exactly the character I was doing, all of a sudden I'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'd be like, "Whoa!" It's like it would just like take over me, and I'd fall into this Melanie character, and it took me. I'm telling you, I feel like I just came out of it. Took 2 years to really wash the body, language,
Energy,
everything, the energy, and.
I mean, it's interesting. For 5 years, we were more those people than we were ourselves. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
So, poor Scott. I think of all of us, the storylines that Scott had to carry were so torturous. It was constantly about reinforcing the things about
Low
himself that he likes the
self-esteem.
least.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got through that,
that-
actually.
I didn't.
Scott's not even here. I mean,
He's going to therapy right after this.
Exactly.
and-
Got to rush right over.
I
Michelle
vividly
could be your
remember
therapist.
sitting at a restaurant in Toronto, Scott and I having lunch, and Scott just spewing all this kind of heartbreak and vitriol and just overwhelmed by it. And I was like, honey, this isn't even you. This is Ted. You're spewing Ted at me. And he just, it
People
was...
would always say,
it was rough.
are you more like you, or are you more like your character? And it's funny because, when you end up threading yourself so much into the character, it is really interesting the extent to which it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Well, you're spending more of your life. I mean, you're spending 16 or 18-hour days sometimes.
At least, and
for,
it's not
for
like we're all,
6 months at a
We're
time.
not all
yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis running around in character all the time, but
I was.
you get there in the morning, in a wheelbarrow. You get there in the morning and you put on your leather pants and your boots and your see-through shirt and
Well, you
you're
do.
already half it. Yeah, well, that's what I did exactly. And
I was just going to say, stand up and show everybody what you're wearing right now. Go ahead and go, yeah, you've really broken character there, Peter. Boy, you shook the stink right off, didn't you? I'm kidding.
No, he has. That's not Emmett.
Yeah.
It's got a,
That's the uniform.
wear
I
a white
wear that.
belt. I like the wear a white belt.
white
and
belt.
all of a sudden you're a big.
It's not Labor Day yet.
And he's got new hair.
But
Yeah.
it is funny.
Me
because
too.
I love your hair.
People think,
Yeah, I like it short.
Thank you.
non-actors always think that you become someone else. And, Laurence Olivier said, ask not who I become to play the character, but ask rather who the character becomes because I play it. And so the reality is,
I know, I like that better than his work.
we're so infused in that it's not inappropriate really to say, what are you more like, or for people to get confused because they're going to see pieces of Michael or Emmett or whatever in the way that you show up, pieces of your personality.
Yeah.
But series work is very different, I think. And I mean, it was the biggest learning process for me the whole time because of that. Because it is. I mean, I really did feel like you are spending more of your life being this person than yourself. I mean, especially the first couple of years when we were shooting 9 months, 8 months of the year, and again, the kind of crazy hours we were first working. That was more of my life, was being that guy, and it was more learning the whole 5 years how to leave it at the office because it was difficult, and I think that was the greater challenge. And I've even met casting directors, head of network castings out here, who assume that whoever an actor is in a series is who they are in real life, because a lot of casting happens that way because they don't trust that someone's going to be able to act and keep that going
They feel
for so
safe
long.
that way.
So they cast personalities that are exactly like the characters if you're not exactly like, and they just assume that's who you are. And I've had casting directors who didn't want to meet me because they thought I was an asshole or whatever, which I am, but
not in the
they,
same
no,
way.
not in the same way.
Think
No,
you
but they
are.
really thought, they thought I was that character and couldn't believe that I could be otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's,
Absolutely agree. I mean, there are casting directors that still think I'm gay. I
What?
don't understand it. I've tried to shake it. I'm as masculine as they come. I don't either, Bob.
that monologue you do from Gypsy, though, I mean, it's really,
Well,
that shit,
it's
I don't know how that...
I turn the sparkle on.
Yeah.
Hal, what's going on with you right now?
A bunch. I've been touring with my band.
The name of your band?
01. The album came out in March. It's on iTunes, which is cool. It's fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We played
That explains the hair, too,
played
because
for-
you've got rock star hair right now.
Thanks. I think. We played VH1 Rock Honors Weekend just last month, and we're touring a lot in the fall. And I've been touring doing stand-up. My special Escape from Alcatraz. Shot that last November, and that just came out on DVD. And I'm doing a movie called The House That Jack Built in like 3 weeks. And I voiced a character on Nickelodeon on this cartoon called Tack and the Power of Juju.
He's gonna get me a job.
Yeah, I play Tack. It's nice to know that as a full-grown adult, I now have the voice of a 14-year-old. But yeah, so we do that, and I'm going to Comic-Con this weekend for a panel.
In a confessional, that could get you very, very far.
That's true. If only I were
Now-
Catholic or gay.
I have to say, I've been friends with Hal for a long time. So one morning, I'm woken up, and I'm from all these phone calls, and my email box is flooded.
I thought you were going to say how.
I turn over and I nudge Hal and go, "Who's making coffee?" Yeah. I get a bunch of phone calls.
Like, Ann, what are you
They're
doing in
all
my bed
from,
again?
Fans and friends of mine in Chicago, and they go, "You're friends with Hal Sparks?" I go, "Yeah," and they go, is he gay? I go, no, why? And they go, are you sure? I go, I'm absolutely